Hey everyone, welcome to the Underswell. I'm Derek Sabori. Thanks for being here. In this episode, I sit down with Olivia Jones, an Orange Coast College student, Coast Collective intern, Levi's stylist, and future creative director in the making. We talk about what it means to say yes to internships, to pivots, to new connections and new creative paths, and creating the things that you want to see in the world. Olivia's journey from studying business in Hawaii to discovering her passion for fashion merchandising back home is a reminder that growth doesn't often follow a straight line, nor do our career paths. Olivia is building a career in creative production, styling, branding, and bringing a fresh voice to the industry while staying grounded, curious, and full of intention. If you're a student figuring it out, a brand leader looking for fresh talent, or just someone who loves a good story about hustle and heart, this one's for you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll dive in and learn more about Olivia Jones. All right, well, Olivia Jones, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. We're gonna have a great conversation. You are a student at Orange Coast College, and full disclosure, you are doing it. You're part of the Coast Collective, which is a student-run store. There's an opportunity to do an internship. You're doing it there with my wife as the what's she called, the advisor, or kind of helping to run the program. But I don't know. Tell me about your involvement there at the Coast Collective. Let's start there.
Yeah, so it's my second time actually doing the internship. The first time I did it in the retail space, just to kind of understand how retail operations work, because I was just going in as a high school student and I didn't really know how anything worked on that end. And that's where I learned how to merchandise a store, run a store, schedule, all of those things. And this time I went in as the event coordinator. So I'm doing something a little different. I'm still helping run the store, but I'm also planning events for the store, getting in contact with the vendors and trying to get giveaways and just kind of trying to bring awareness to the store, because it is in a spot on campus where people aren't all the time, so they don't really know about it. So it's my job to kind of get the word out there and be like, hey, we exist. Come check us out. We're pretty cool.
And it seems like it's working. It seems like there's a nice little buzz. I know the foot traffic is picking up, so great job. You're in the fashion department over there, focusing on merchandising, right? With plans to transfer to Cal State Long Beach. You weren't always in fashion merchandising, though. Is that correct? Did you make a pivot?
That's right. I started in business at the University of Hawaii because I wanted to do something in marketing, something where I could be creative, but I wanted a broad field so I could pretty much go anywhere. And I loved my time at Hawaii, but it just wasn't right for me as an 18-year-old. So I came home and decided to go to OCC, took a couple classes there, and found the fashion department. And it is all history from there. And now I'm loving what I'm doing and finding my path.
I love that. You're thriving over there. You're working at Levi's, and you're really focused on creative production, kind of making and designing products, focusing on kind of a creative director role, doing styling and things like that. Is that what where does the work at Levi's come into that? Does that help? Does that influence the work you do?
Kind of, a little bit. I'm a stylist there, so that's their retail sales associate position. But I get to meet all the people, and I get to talk to people and listen to what they like and what they want, and just kind of understand the market at the moment. And it's in a mall, so I also get to look outside and see all of these trends that are happening right now and kind of assess them and then apply them to photo shoots that I want to produce or things that I want to do. And I get to see how people can balance all of that stuff together. And then it gives me a unique perspective because I am in retail, so I can see the end result. And then it helps me think about how can I market things and how can I get the photo shoot to look the way I want it to, so that when it gets to the retail space, it's eye-catching and it'll help drive sales in that way as well.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's a good strategic job for what you're planning. Was that sort of by design, would you say? Do you think, did you want to work specifically at Levi's for that reason, or has that been a byproduct? Now that you're there, you're like, ooh, I see an opportunity here and I can fuse this into what I'm working on?
Yeah, it was more of an opportunity and just kind of seeing what it was. I started working at Levi's because I'd done it in high school as well, and it was my favorite job of all time. And the only reason I had left was for Hawaii for school. But I decided to go back to Levi's and just get back to my roots, get good sales, just get to know relatively sustainable company more and just kind of be stationary for a second, because I felt like I've been going crazy with all of everything happening in my life, just moving so fast.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of noticed, like, they're recently having the campaign with Beyonce, and that stuff is front and center, and it catches everybody's eye. Every time someone walks in, they go straight to that, and I'm like, oh, what did they do with that campaign that people like?
Yeah.
So I just kind of like look at, oh, they go pick up the denim jacket, or they go look at the jeans that they have, or a lot of people pick up the denim hat, which is very interesting because I don't really think of denim and hats going together, but it catches everybody's eye because it's something unique. And then now in my brain, I'm like, okay, what can I do in future campaigns that's something that people aren't thinking about, but when they see it, they'll be like, ooh, I want that. You know, it's just kind of like working it through.
Yes, I like that. And tell me a little bit about, I guess, then kind of looking forward, then you've got another, I don't know, what, a year and a half or 2 years still of college to do, right? Once you get over to Cal State Long Beach. But then you'll be going out into the job market. I know you're dialing in here from, you're local here, close to Orange Coast College.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of stay in the area? Where do you see yourself going from here as you graduate? You'll be at Levi's for a while, but what's your kind of vision for what you want to do? Who do you want to help? What does that, next role look like for you?
For right now, I honestly have no idea. I'm open to literally anything. Like, if someone in Australia says, hey, would you like to come work for our company? Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
Like the brand Rhythm, if they ever reach out to me, that would be like a dream. Or if I want to do something like local, work with a local brand, like any of the like the brands that are at Surfscape or something like that, or even working with Surfscape specifically, because I really like that organization and what they're doing. I'd like just being somewhere where I can get my hands in things and be creative and like help people innovate the way that they're thinking about things, because our world is changing so fast.
Yeah, and we'll give a shout out to that, because I was with the Surf Industry Members Association. You did the Surfscape event, which is an in-person event where they try to open up to the public, bring in the surf brands and the outdoor brands, and just try to have them. It's almost like a trade show that's open to the public with community activation. And I think they partnered with students at OCC for you to come in, help throughout the day, and that seemed like it was a cool experience. I saw some of the photos.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. They're going to do it again this year, and you bet your butt I'm going.
Nice.
But it was really, really fun because I never really thought about the surf industry being like much other than, oh, cool, that's Hurley. Oh, cool, that's Quicksilver in a random store. Or like, oh, Tilly's, that's nice, whatever. But being there and seeing like how you make a surfboard, how like close-knit the skate community is, and how like this California culture within the surf community was really, really cool to see. And like I got to talk to all these people who are running brands and just getting into the industry and all of that. And I even got to meet Vipe. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, Vipe's great.
He's a character and I absolutely love it. He's his own individual self, and like he's so passionate about SEMA and Surfscape and all of these things. And it was just like eye-opening. Like, oh, there's this whole world that I'm now getting access to because I'm taking these steps that I didn't even think about before.
Olivia, so one thing I think I noticed, though, whether it's doing, your internship at the Coast Collective or volunteering here at Surfscape, it seems like you're somebody that says, yes, I'll try that, like put me in. Why? Tell me why that's important and how it's maybe benefited you.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get any opportunities if you don't say yes. So I just want people to remember that, oh, this girl works hard. She wants to be in there doing things with people. So if I have the opportunity and I have the availability and time, and it's not gonna like completely destroy my mental health with a commitment, I'm going for it.
You're doing it, yeah.
I'm 20. I got time. I'm 21 now, but I've got the time to go do it, so now is my time to do it. I'm not going to have this time when I'm like 40, 50 years old, so now is my time to go have fun, learn things, explore, and just get out there.
Well, I'm hoping there will still be time at your 40s and 50s, for those of us in that realm, right? Don't forget. Hey, how about your past experiences? I mean, you mentioned your time in Hawaii, and you said, that was that, you decided to come back to the mainland. or your time there at OCC. But what are some things that you think you've learned from these experiences? You know, maybe how have you evolved over the last few years, or important connections you've made? Maybe what are some of the lessons that you've learned or mistakes that you've made that are really informing what you'll be doing for the next few years?
Yeah. So like in high school and everything, I was always that kid is like, okay, this is my path. This is exactly what I'm doing. Cannot deviate. Hawaii was such a shock for me because aside from the fact that I moved to an entirely different state, I was by myself. I didn't have my mom as a crutch, and I was on my own trying to figure it all out. It was just a new experience, and I really had to fight with myself that if I was going to stay or if I was going to go home, if I was going to stick it out and try and figure it out, or if for myself it was the right decision to come home. And I think that was like the biggest lesson I learned there, aside from learning in your classes, of course, was that it's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to go find a new path, because your life is not linear. You're not going to be sitting in an office for the rest of your life. So go make that second decision. Like, oh, if you see this opportunity, take it, because you never know where it's going to lead you, and you never know how happy you're going to be if you don't take that leap. And it's just a good decision overall. I made a lot of mistakes in my time too. Just kind of being a dumb kid and leaving a job too soon, or if I kind of like, I don't like something, I'm like, hey, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it. Leave me alone. And then I miss out on like another opportunity, or a big mistake that I've made quite a few times is overcommitting myself. I think I can do it all. I can't. I know that like I have the ability to multitask, and I can get out there and I can do a lot of things, but I need to account for the time that it takes to do those things well.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot better at it as I've gotten older, but when I was younger, I would say, okay, I can do this performance, I can make this presentation, and I can do all of this stuff in 3 hours. No, you cannot.
What do you think what helped with that realization? Was it just did you hit sort of a tipping point with something, or did you know, I've done things right where you drop the ball and you're like, okay, I get it, I'm pushing too much. Did you have sort of a moment, or was it somebody that influenced you, or is it just something over time that you picked up on?
It's just kind of something over time. Like, I pushed myself really, really hard a few weeks ago to get through everything, because it was project time season, and like it was work projects, and I was trying to do a bunch of outside stuff, trying to like build my personal brand. I pushed myself a little too hard, and I got a cold, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. So I decided, like, you know what, it's a little bit more important for me right now to get some rest and to get myself back to top tier before going to commit to more things. And the last time that had happened, that I had overcommitted myself, I also got sick. So I think it's like an indicator for myself. Yeah. Like, oh, hey, here's this point that you hit. Now it is time to rest for a little bit, and then you can get back to it. But I'm trying to prevent that, so I'm not going to overcommit again. Yeah,
it's important. It's an important, good advice, and an important lesson to listen to the body. You know, the body will speak to us and give you signs and signals. So heed those warnings. Olivia, what's an influential life experience? You know, if you look at your LinkedIn bio or your resume, what is an experience that you've had that your resume is not going to fully capture? If somebody's looking at your LinkedIn bio, they're not going to be able to know what. This might be something that has really helped determine who you are or informs your work style. Is there something that comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's something just like about me specifically is I'm mixed. So I have a really unique perspective about pretty much everything out there. Because like I didn't grow up seeing people who looked like me. I'm a little bit taller than everyone in my community. I got big curls when they're not in a bun. But I have this unique look that not a lot of people had when I was growing up. And I feel like that was really influential in defining who I was, because I was something that I didn't see, I created what I wanted. Like, I didn't see girls who look like me on ads. Okay, take the clothes and make them yourself. I didn't see like strong women in just everyday fields as much as I do now these days. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be that woman. I'm gonna go do that. And I just kind of like work my mindset around seeing things that are not traditional black and white, but kind of ironic because I am. But just putting it into like this whole new like perspective and just blooming, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think that's a mature outlook, though. I wonder, when you look back, did you sort of have that fortitude back then? Because I know in your younger years, it can be tough if you're not seeing those role models or not feeling like you're fitting in. Was this something that kind of came as you got older, or were you somebody that when you were younger, you had that mindset, you're like, doesn't matter, I'm strong, I got this, and I'll embrace it?
I kind of had it. I didn't when I was younger because I was like really little, because like I was a kid. I was going to go outside and play sports and do whatever.
Yeah.
But as I was going through middle school and high school, I started becoming way more aware of it. And I was like, and it was my mission in school to be like, if I don't see it, I'm going to do it, which is what led me into my business, like sphere of everything. Because I was like, I don't see mixed girls in marketing. Sure, I see girls that are like, have lighter complexions who are black girls, but I don't see mixed people in there. So I'm going to go do it. I'm going to make it my mission to find people who look like me, because we're only about, last article I read was about 1.7% of the American population is mixed kids. I think it's gone up since then.
Yeah.
But that's like such a small percentage for how big America is.
Yep. Okay.
And I feel like there's a bunch of kids out there who felt the same as I did growing up, and I just really want that punch to change and to be me.
Oh, I love it. Olivia, with you saying that, was that just, I guess, did that come from, you mentioned your mom? Was that influence? Was that sort of in you? Or did you have an outside influence that helped you along and kind of helped you get that strength that you just talked about?
It was definitely my mom. She's
That's what I was fishing for.
Yeah, everything I attribute is definitely to my mom. She's a single mom, so she works really, really hard to get everything. And I love her dearly. She just has always kind of like pushed me to go do things and get out there, and like she'll help me with anything, even if she doesn't really want to do it.
Yeah, that's a mom.
She'll do it anyways. And even when she's so done with me, she's like, what? We'll get the work done. It's fine.
Give me an example, Olivia. I know, you've been working at Levi's, you do this work on campus, but give me an example of a type of work environment that you really thrive in. What kind of environment do you like the best?
Oh, I love creative environments. Like, I know that's such a broad term,
that's
but
fair.
If there's anywhere where I can just like, I have this joke that I love to sit on the floor because I'm more grounded, and that way I can like bloom and my brain can work. I just love being in spaces where people are like bouncing ideas off of each other, and like even if I don't agree with some of the ideas, I'm like, oh, that's a unique perspective that I didn't think about at all, because that's not in my wheelhouse. Or I like being in spaces like our fashion department. I love being in those buildings because there's just inspiration everywhere.
Yeah. Inspiration, creativity, just cool. Like you said, I love the idea that you're bringing up just, different perspectives. So important to stop and kind of go, oh, okay, I hadn't really looked at it that way. That's interesting. What do you think people appreciate most about working with you? What would your colleagues say, current or past? What are they going to say when we bring you up and they're like, dang, Olivia is what?
I hear this phrase a lot. I've heard it from my professors, from my old coworkers, that I'm a self-starter, that I just go for it. I've also heard that like I'm really organized. Some people might not seem organized, but to me it makes complete sense, like my little filing methods and all of that. I also think I'm very detail oriented. Like even with my jewelry, I have 3 piercings here, and I have 3 necklaces, and I have rings on certain fingers because I just like everything to be perfectly little details of everything. For my self-starterness, I typically like group projects and stuff. The moment the teacher says, hey, here's a group project, I go, okay, PowerPoint. Because if I don't put something out there into the universe, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
But I just like hop onto things and just kind of get my foot in the door. I also have gotten really good at networking. People have noticed that I'm like getting really good at doing that. and talking to people like the rhythm representatives that are at the Irvine location came to my previous job and had a pop-up, and I made sure to introduce myself to all of them because that is a brand that I'd like to work for someday because I really like their vibe and their statements and their mission and all of that. And I just am just trying to get my foot in the door wherever I can. I am mentally taking notes of everybody's coffee order because we're in California, coffee culture is a thing. I'm just trying to like find that little corner that I can get in, you know?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm glad you brought up networking because I know when I was younger, I think I've told this story before, but I was almost irritated with the idea of networking. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but it's such a powerful thing. And it's good that you're doing it now and that you'll keep building on it because your network will just keep compounding. It's like interest, like you keep putting it in the bank. The more people you meet, they'll make connections to you. And who knows, we're going to shout out to Rhythm here. And Rhythm, if you're listening, we got Olivia right here. She's ready for it. But it's so important. And the earlier you get started and making note of just recognizing, like you said, coffee orders and the details and who people are and what they're doing, what their aspirations are, what they're working on, how you can support them. And it's just really, really, really smart. So good for you. How about this idea of a vision board? I always like to do this where, if you're making a vision board, you're creating one, you get through Cal State Long Beach, you finish with your degree, you're ready to go out into the work world full time. You can land at any company, or maybe you're doing something on your own. You've got any client you want. You can nab any particular role. What does that look like? What does that vision look like?
Yeah, like I have to think about this all the time. Like there's so many different avenues that I could go down because my vibe is a little grungy, a little boho, a little California, a little Hawaii, just like all of it kind of together. I would love to work for a company like any of the anthropology companies. I believe they're under the Urban umbrella. I think.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, and then or like Levi's, which I have secured now.
Yes.
Or something like Rhythm, or even like a small brand. Like And Then is a really cool brand that a lot of people from my school like kind of go there and then branch off into the world. I really like what they're doing as well. I just like would love to work for a brand that's creative and has a very unique identity and culture, but it's something that's like that sticks out, that's different from what everybody in the market is doing. Like I want to be work for one of those brands where other brands look to them like, oh, I'm going to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
I know that this world is ever changing, so having freelance in your back pocket is a great idea. If I were to work for like freelance, I would probably try to align myself with companies that are like Black owned businesses because I don't think that they get enough social media time. I don't think they get enough attention right now. And there's so many cool Black businesses out there. Like there's this one business, it's about food. It's called Gastro something. And it's absolutely insane. They used to sell at Target for a little bit. I don't think they sell at Target right now, but they have like a whole cookbook of really good recipes, and they're taking more like a healthier approach to a bunch of like Pop-Tarts. Like I saw Pop-Tarts the other day, and they had their version of Pop-Tarts, and I was like, I can't afford that right now, but that looks delicious.
Well, and what is it? Do you remember what it's called? It's not. I just did a quick search. I searched Gastro Black owned. And I've got Ghetto Gastro. Is that
yes.
it? Okay.
Yes. Ghetto Gastro,
a Bronx-born culinary collective from a few. They list the founders John Gray, Pierre Serraro, and Lester Walker. We've notably defined our own lane, merging food, fashion, and something else. So shout out to those guys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's important to kind of put it out there. And I see in all of those roles, though, you're kind of playing a creative lead, kind of a creative director, just kind of in that creative spirit, creating, styling, helping market, bringing it all to life, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I know right now I'm young, so I'd probably be I'd be like a junior creative producer or an associate producer or something like that. But literally any form of getting creative help that I can right now and getting all those terms and learning everything that I possibly can for right now, and then getting up to possibly being a creative director one day would be absolutely amazing because right now I'm in a creative production class and we are producing for one of my friends' brands, and I have a vision and I want that vision to happen, and I'm learning to communicate with my team members, and we're all kind of on the same page, and it is the most exhilarating thing that I've ever done. And I'm just seeing what's in my brain on a piece of paper or like in real life, and it's just like the best feeling ever.
Yeah, you found that if you find that magic, you got to hold on to it, chase after it, and keep getting it. So that's so good to hear. I think you're well on your way. What advice? Give me some advice, Olivia, if you can, as we wrap things up here. What would you give to others, other students, other young people, or people in your position, maybe who are looking to get into this space or take a similar college path to the one that you have? Give us some, drop some knowledge. Give us some advice. What have you learned?
I can't stress it enough. Networking, like you said, you didn't really like networking in the beginning. I didn't either. I was such an introvert when I started college. I was the kid who said, okay, I'm gonna sit in my seat, I'm gonna sit in the back, and when this class is over, I'm getting in my car.
What was your
don't do that.
What was your catalyst for that? I want to stick on that for a second. Like, what was the moment you had? Do you remember it when you're like, I need to go say hi to this person, or what jump started it?
Michelle Craner.
Really? So a teacher at Orange Coast College, was it something she said, something she did, or just the environment that she created?
It was, she had brought in a guest speaker. I believe it was Holly Bloomfield. When I don't know if she's still working for Travis Mathew, but she was working for Travis Mathew at the time. And she brought her in and she started talking about her journey and how she actually helped create that CD mural at the lab.
Okay.
She was on the team that like made that, and I was like, oh, I should go talk to her. I should send her an email like thanking her. And I sent the email and she responded, and I was like, that wasn't so hard. What?
Yeah, exactly.
That was nothing.
Yeah.
And then I did it for everybody that semester, and I'm still connected with a couple of those people.
There you go.
Nicole Saunders, I see her all the time. She comes and helps in the department, and she remembers my face because I went out of my way to introduce myself to her.
Yes.
And then Catherine Tran, who's a social media strategist and is currently going to Long Beach. We follow each other on social media, and we like each other's stuff and comment and all of that stuff. And it's just like, you never know if you are going to make that connection, but if you don't try to do it, you never will.
And guess what? Your next job is going to come from one of those connections, not from hitting an apply button on LinkedIn or somewhere. I guarantee it's going to come from, oh, I'm looking for something new, and it's somebody that you met, and it's it's like you're doing the right work. Anything else? Any other advice? Networking, is that kind of the big thing? What else?
To also be resourceful. I wrote it down earlier. I was like, use your resources. Be resourceful. Get your organization tools in there. Like right now, middle semester, everything feels like I'm like spinning in circles. But I have my organization tools, and I use Notion right now, and I love Notion. It's so helpful. It like can organize everything for me, and I have complete creative freedom of how I want to organize it and what works best for me. And it's a lot of plug and play at first, but now I'm like kind of getting my method down, kind of getting what I need, and honestly, using things that are like outside of the box. Like, don't think of Instagram as just something that is, oh, look at this picture I took of the beach. And then like you're done with it. Use it as a business tool, because that is where everybody's at right now. Even if some people aren't loving what's happening, social media is not going away, and it's never going away. We're too addicted at this point.
And do you think, I mean, really it becomes your personal brand, right? It's like what you're putting out there really becomes sort of the aura that you're putting out, and that can't help but cross into your professional life as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I just got my certification in digital marketing, and it completely opened my eyes to how everything that I do, post, say on social media will get to a company that I'm going to work for one day. So I should curate my content to what I want people to see and what I want businesses to see and what I can do in order to like make my resume, make myself more well-rounded so they get to get a better picture of me.
Yeah. It seems like you pursue a lot of certificates and are always always growing, always looking for new things. Is that sort of that comes along with your self-starter, I guess, ethos?
Yeah, definitely. Because I see that there's a lot of growth in social media right now. So I said, okay, that's not going away. I need to learn it and understand it so I can use it to my benefit.
Yeah.
I'm taking a graphic design course right now because that's something that'll be helpful in creative production. If I can understand the terms and the language from pre-production and post-production, I can make it so much more seamless throughout the entire production process, middle of the actual shoot, and post, just to make my clients happy in the future. The sustainability certificate that I'm getting right now as well. I love our planet and I want to make it greener and better and give my future children something to look forward to, not just buildings everywhere. Yeah. So I'm taking the sustainability certificate so I can understand the terms and the language and what I can do to help and take my part in making our planet better.
So great. Well, Olivia, you've got it looks like a bright future ahead of you. Best of luck. I give this last few minutes here just to give you an opportunity for kind of a soapbox, if you will. It's an opportunity for you to shout out something or call out something or someone. What do you have? What do you have for us? The last minute is yours here.
Honestly, just like, hey, everybody, please go out there and just go start doing stuff, guys. Like, honestly, I can't stress it enough. Go. Don't sit at home. Like, I know a lot of us are about to just hit spring break and want to sleep for a week. This is your week to go out and go to the beach and talk to that random person that you see wearing those cool shorts. Go do it. Because you never know how cool that they are. And then they might connect you to somebody and change your life forever. You know, like, just be spontaneous and have fun and do it.
Yeah, do it. Make connections. You never know where those connections are going to lead. Olivia, where's the best place for people to keep up with you?
Probably Instagram. I'm usually on there the most. My Instagram username is Olivia and I. My name, Olivia, and then Anais. That's my middle name. I like it a lot. I post pretty much everything on there. Right now it's a little dead because I'm working on a revamp, so it's going to look all pretty in like a week.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much that. Or to look on my LinkedIn as well, which is just Olivia A. Jones. That one, you'll kind of see what I'm doing business-wise, where I'm going, and just, those two.
Sounds good. Well, hey, best of luck on your final tonight that you've got, and best of luck finishing up the semester and all the work that you're doing. We're excited to watch you do it all. Thanks for being on, Olivia.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, bye.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what you heard, be sure to check back weekly, subscribe to the show, and if you want to be featured on the show, come hit us up at theunderswell.com. We'd love to hear from you.